On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And here we are on a Thursday.
Another Thursday.
You never saw it coming.
Never. We love to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get over here.
Yeah, you never do. You never, ever do. We like to switch it up every week, you know?
We're always switching it up, always just different things. Sometimes it's you, me, us. Sometimes it's me, you, us. So it's just,
It's, you never know if it's a me, you, us, and us, you, me, a me,
Kidding,
me.
of course, because, we found the formula a long time ago, many years ago. Madison, did you realize we are on the precipice of Obituary's 5-year public anniversary?
Oh, pub?
Yeah, we went public 5 years ago.
July
2nd,
I think.
Of 2021.
Which is tomorrow.
Yep. No, today.
Which is today.
Oh my God, happy 5-year anniversary.
Happy 5-year anniversary. And guess what?
What?
Haven't been number 2 since. Remember, we were on the chart.
We were number 2 on iTunes.
Next to Smartless. Next to...
We're beating everyone.
Damn.
And then they heard us talk. And they said, oh.
Okay, I thought this was like a joke. And this is serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
And vocal fry?
Oh, Valley Girl talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Still here. Still here, baby.
Still here. Still queer. Get used to it.
Get used to it. Yeah. I wish we would have realized we could have done something cool for the 5-year. We'll do it for the 5.5 year.
I always count it as in January. So
that's like our true anniversary. And those of you who have been with us, riding with us since those fucking days.
Fucking
hats
real
off
deal.
to you.
Real
fucking
deal.
real ones.
Yeah.
If you came late too, though, better late than never.
Oh my
gosh. That's what we say.
Fashionably late.
Oh, iconic of you, actually.
Yeah.
And if you are new here and you like what you are hearing, or if you've been enjoying us for 5 years and you haven't, please rate and review us on wherever you're listening, because we got to get back to number 2. We need to feel that feeling again.
Number 1. Let's shoot for the stars. We might end up on the moon.
You should quote that.
I just
copyright
did.
that.
Oh, yeah. It's mine. I know.
Yeah. Okay, Diva.
Diva girl. Can I talk to you about something?
Yes.
Well, okay. There is an elephant in the room, and I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but I think my camera is picking it up. I have the biggest pimple I've had probably ever.
Where?
Right here, right here.
I can't see it.
Okay, I put a bunch of makeup on it. It hurts like a motherfucker. It looks like a piercing. It's like, you can feel it under the surface.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, well, good.
But that is a terrible feeling.
A terrible feeling.
I'm sorry you're dealing with that right now.
I know, thank you. But I also wanted to talk about France. I know it's a sore
Too
subject. I know it's a sore subject for you, but it's actually really sad what's going on there right now, the heat wave.
Oh, people are dying.
People are dying, and there's an article that just came out about how overwhelmed the funeral homes are right now.
Really?
Yes. This is from Reuters. It says, in France, a funeral home is overwhelmed as the heat wave's death toll rises. It goes in and interviews An undertaker, it says he's receiving panicked calls from families, retirement homes, and even the police desperately trying to find space in refrigerated mortuary storage for people who died during the heat wave that's gripping France. There were at least 1,000 excess deaths from last Wednesday to Sunday, France's public health agency said, adding that the numbers were not final and were bound to increase. Hertelli's funeral home in Orly near Paris has room to store 32 bodies in its cold storage room, and all are occupied, Hertelli said, pointing to the compartments, each with a label with the name of the deceased, the date at which the body arrived at the funeral home, and the temperature at which they are stored ahead of a burial or cremation. We're completely full, he said. The rush really started on Wednesday, Thursday, and the whole weekend. It was nonstop. At the weekend, I received 150 calls and had to say no to 150 bodies.
Wow.
It's something that you don't think about. We saw it with COVID. We talked about it with Titanic. Remember
during COVID, we drove to where that ship was in Long Beach?
It's
the hospital
the
ship?
Vincent Thomas Bridge. Yeah, it was the Red Cross. I think it was the Mercy.
Yes, it was. And Good memory.
I know. And it was haunting. That's why I remember it. Ships and the ocean freak me out. And especially over there in San Pedro, they have an old battleship there that you can tour. Then we also have the Queen Mary.
Yep.
They're haunting. And
I spent the night on the Queen Mary.
I know. We need to do that.
Yeah, we got to. I did see too. It's so crazy, but I saw in France, at least temporarily, they had banned the sale of alcohol because people were getting drunk and
dehydrated.
Dying. Yeah, so dehydrated. People also were drowning. Yeah, that's crazy. And they don't have AC out there.
Yeah. Fully.
Which is crazy and such bullshit, because even in LA, Long Beach, all these beach cities, they're no OC, enjoy the ocean breeze. It's bitch, it's fucking, we're inland. It's, unless you're living on the beach, but even then it's hot as shit.
Well, it's enjoy the ocean breeze inside of your 100-year-old home that has no insulation. How about that?
Enjoy that, and then enjoy how expensive it is to live there, and then also enjoy, especially Long Beach, the worst air in the, I think, world, at least country.
I think it was voted number 1 or number 2 because the port in the United States for the worst air quality. So that statistic made me sort of just give up, because I feel I'm already fucked. That's why I ordered Cool Ranch Doritos, and I'm eating them. Okay?
Damn, girl.
I know.
It is crazy.
I know. Also, what happened this week or last week was Clive Davis died, and I will be 100% honest with you. No disrespect. I already thought he had passed on. One of those.
Same.
Yes.
Yep.
But his funeral was star-studded. He had his funeral at Central Synagogue in New York just a couple days ago, June 29th. Adrian Brody was there. Barry Manilow showed up. He looked great. Blue suit.
Glad to hear, because I think he was having some problems recently.
Did they put... Oh, no. Who was the one they put up on stage? Was that Frankie Valli?
Yeah, he's like...
Guess who was there with her big boobs?
Who?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, Nancy Knockers Pelosi. I thought you were going to say Brian Nome. Lest we forget. Wait, Clive Davis is notorious for being, I think, not a good guy.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So predatory. I didn't know that. Oh, well,
allegedly.
Okay, well then allegedly fuck him.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We watched last night, the Champ and I. Mm-hmm. We watched the movie Obsession. Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I saw it in the theaters.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We watched it last. We did?
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know. In my defense, we talk every thought to each other all day long. I posted a photo on my Instagram of our call log from a day. That wasn't even that full day. That was just a screenshot of...
Hold on. Yeah, let me show you. This is live on the air.
Live on the air. Let it be known that we were talking 30 minutes before this recording for 30 minutes.
Oh, wait. Live on the air. Honey, girly, 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 girly. I don't know whose that number is.
I was laughing because mine were all you, and then there was one that was you and your sister.
Yeah.
That was it. Anyway, so we watched it, I guess, last night. I loved it.
Yeah. No, I loved it too.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was really fun, and I loved how crazy she was. And yeah, it was. I thought it was good. I liked it.
The cat meat made me
hated that.
sick.
Oh, well, because he was sitting there. That scene was so long where he's sitting there, like, realizing, spoiler alert, and he's like...
I think everybody's seen it by now.
Oh, well, oh my God. I didn't know I was so late to the game.
You
I'm
are.
Sorry. I waited for it to come to streaming. I'm not going to the movies for everything. It's overpriced, and all of the movie theaters here in Nashville serve Pepsi products.
Oh.
I don't want that.
That does suck. Yeah, that sucks.
I don't want Pepsi. No, actually, the Bell Court, which is like the art theater where we go sometimes, they have Coca-Cola products.
Okay. I want to ask you, if you had one of those little ones.
I'm taken.
Girl, nobody wants you.
That's hurtful.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
Not taking it back. No. Everybody wants him. Look at him. They love him.
Nice. Really nice.
No.
Really nice, Madison.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. You think anyone wants me? Come on. Okay. You're supposed to say yes.
Not with that pimple. Madison, you're beautiful. I want you. Ooh.
Okay, no. If you could have one of those one wish things, what would you wish for?
$1 billion.
Same.
$1 billion.
Same.
No, that's not what I would actually wish for.
Oh, God. It's going to be something sweet.
No, I would wish for my health, though. I would wish,
yeah.
I want to live to be 95 years old and so healthy.
Yeah. Okay. Although, as I get to end of life, I may want to have the mindset that I'm over it and ready to go. If I'm rocking and rolling and you take my life away at 95, I might be kind of sad. You know what I'm saying?
100?
150? Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't wish for both health and... I would just want, I would say, I just want to have a long, healthy life.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. Love that.
And abs.
And abs?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what if the long, healthy life actually meant that...
See, that's the thing. You can't make wishes because you don't know the repercussions.
I know.
Money, honey. Ain't nothing wrong.
But then you see people that get a bunch of money and bad things come to them.
Well, I think a lot of times it's people that win lottery money and they fucking go spend it on Sea-Doos and shit. And then they're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
yeah.
you weren't supposed to have money at this lifetime.
Right. There was a glitch and you got it. Fucking CERN turned off.
And you weren't supposed to have it.
Your shit got jumped to another timeline. It wasn't supposed to happen.
What would you wish for?
Probably $1 billion. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, give me the money.
Yeah.
Because there's so much I could do with it. I could buy all the cool things, but also...
so much I could do with it. Not like I could feed the...
Well, no, and then I would...
You're like,
I wouldn't
buy everything.
I would focus on animals. Like, yeah.
Oh, I'd run Chihuahua farms.
Chihuahua farm.
That's my dream. Yeah, like 13 senior Chihuahuas running around. Love.
Oh, God.
Give it to me.
All in dresses.
Oh my God, different ones. Yeah. Like the one with the tassel, that's pretty.
And that's Tabby over there. She's got the long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Do you have any assholes for us?
I do, Madison. Is that your wish?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it, girl. Okay, this person says, am I the asshole for being upset that my close friend didn't offer condolences for the death of my grandfather? For context, my grandpa was more like a father figure to me than just my grandpa. My own dad isn't in the picture, so he became that person when I was growing up. I, 29 female, recently lost my grandpa due to complications of a heart attack. It happened so quickly, I didn't even get to say goodbye before he passed. I've been grieving hard, and through it, I've leaned heavily on my friends. Taylor, 27, and Kingston, 27. On top of all of that, everyone at work has been really supportive and helpful during this time. Through all of my grief, I realized that my friend Amanda, 32, hadn't reached out to me once. And every time we ran into each other at work, she would throw up a peace sign and run the opposite way.
That's crazy.
That actually is crazy. And even though I say work, this is someone who I actually have several matching tattoos with. My ride or die through work bullshit.
Oh.
We go on trips together. She's cried to me when her life's getting heavy, and I've cried to her the same. But this feels different. She's seen all of my stories that I've posted about his death and even watched the video I posted of my speech for his funeral. Not once has she checked on me. Not a single condolence, not even a single hug. I started to think maybe I had done something. Maybe I didn't send condolences when her cat died. I did, but nothing was making sense. The more time passed, the worse I felt about it. Meanwhile, people I don't talk to have been there for me more than I ever imagined. When I realized she would run the opposite way, I started moving the same way she had, and that's where I think maybe I'm the asshole. I don't want to cut communication, but I feel silly getting upset over this. So am I the asshole for getting upset?
No, you're not the asshole.
No.
This is fucking bizarre. If somebody I knew,
Weird behavior.
even if we were on the best terms and nothing happened and they just started seeing me at work, peace sign, run the other way, I'd be like,
Yeah.
fucking get out of
I
here.
think you're fucking weird. And people were like, well, sometimes people aren't comfortable with death. The
Grow
world doesn't cater to everyone's discomforts. I'm sorry. But like sometimes, yeah, grow the fuck up.
So you
Grow
think
up.
resulting to this and running away is how to handle it? No.
Also, how hard is it to offer someone condolences? Like,
Yeah,
how hard is it to do that?
it's-
It's the least you can do.
The
Weird.
only thing I'm thinking, I'm like, was she not invited to the funeral and thought that maybe she should have been? Or so? Still, there's
Even
no
then,
excuse.
she's not the
no
person
excuse.
grieving.
No, of
Yeah.
course not.
Weird.
Weird.
Weirdo behavior. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be friends with that person anymore. And
Right.
I'd get the tattoo covered up.
Yeah,
With-
fully.
with-
With a
with
peace
the
sign.
peace sign, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this next one says, would I be the asshole for planning my father's funeral for after a concert I'm going to?
Okay.
What concert is it?
Yeah, what concert?
They wrote, I am still emotionally reeling from all of this, so I'm sorry for any spelling errors through my tears. But I'm at the best concert of my life right now.
Woohoo!
I will spare the traumatic details, but my father was diagnosed around December 2025 with stomach cancer. I don't live in my hometown anymore, so I was only able to text and call him to keep updates and in contact with him. A week ago, my mom informed me that he had gotten worse to where treatment wouldn't help and he was going into hospice. So when hearing that, I took time off of work and drove 2 hours to see him one day and ended up finding his body in his home. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Really quick, I need to say you live 2 hours from your father and you have not seen him since. Like, you haven't been going. I'd go there every weekend.
Yeah, 2 hours is not insane.
Nothing.
Yeah.
How long it
Okay.
takes to get from one side of LA to the other, but
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I am legally his next of kin, so I am his only blood child. He has no living siblings, and him and my mom never got married, so I'm responsible for arranging the funeral services, getting his home/items taken care of, etc. I'm only 27, so this is all very jarring for me. I am getting help from my close friends, family, and my partners, but I am still so lost and conflicted on what to do. He was a veteran, so I have started the process with the VA, but one thing that is crossing my mind and maybe makes me the asshole is planning his funeral after a concert I planned months in advance for. I won't name the artist because it's not really needed for the story, but I really enjoy their music. I got tickets to go with my two partners back in February of 2026, and the artist encouraged a theme, so I also bought a full outfit, which just got delivered. Who's got a theme? I want to figure this out. Maybe a day before my father passed away. The concert is literally only 2 weeks away, mid-July 2026. I've been an emotional mess since the day it happened, holding back tears as I called various places to inform and notify them my father has passed, crying afterwards and on the phone with my family, checking in on me. I feel like the concert would be a good thing to help me clear my mind, help me relax for a night after weeks of stressing and grieving. But I'm also worried of my family questioning why I pushed it or took so long to prep everything. I could just lie and say I was taking my time, which I truly truly am, as I want to follow my dad's last wishes of how he wanted to be buried, but I would also feel bad about lying to them. So would I be the asshole for planning my dad's funeral for some time after a concert I'm going to?
I mean, normally I would say no. Like, if you really are trying to take your time and
that's not why they're doing this.
Exactly.
They want to go to the concert.
They want to go to the concert. They don't want to feel guilty. And then you pointing out the like being 2 hours away and then finding him.
Mom,
alone.
I'm going to the Kesha concert.
Yeah, I don't like you.
No.
Yeah. Not that I don't like you. I don't know you, but I don't like the way you're moving.
Yeah, I feel like you're saying all of these things in it to be like, but like, look, I'm doing all of this and I'm doing the right thing here, here, and here. But is it okay if I don't do the right thing here?
Right.
It is asshole-ish. It is also like, why not do the funeral in the day and go to the concert? Oh, I guess they live 2 hours away. I don't know. Figure it out. But you don't put things like that on hold for, like, I understand too, like wanting to have moments of happy in moments of grief.
Of course.
But I think from the way you've written it, it makes it sound like you are choosing a concert over the funeral. I don't know.
Yeah. And just wanting reassurance, I think.
Yeah.
What did people say?
Asshole.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do, you know?
It happens.
It happens.
Well, I have someone to talk about who's not an asshole. Madison, you're up first this week.
Oh, okay. Yes. Which means you should have a side bitch.
I do. And this one caught my attention. It's from the Standard, July 21st, 1970. And it says, sick children lose their balloon man.
Oh.
Toronto. Funeral services will be held today for Bernard Douglas Hanger, 70, known to the patients of the Hospital for Sick Children as Uncle Bernie, the balloon man. Since 1948, Mr. Hanger, who died Friday, had visited the hospital every Wednesday night, handing out balloons and toys to the young patients.
Oh.
Mr. Hanger's visit started when sitting in a restaurant, he heard a woman tell a waitress she was unable often to visit her child, a patient in the hospital, because she lived near New Liskeard, Ontario, and he arranged to do the visiting for her, and later he would show up every Wednesday between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Oh,
Such a sweet guy.
So sweet.
I really, really love
a commitment
like that, and people that genuinely just do things like that out of the goodness of their own heart.
Fully.
Because you know those kids, that's fucking everything to them is those Wednesday nights. And they're so excited, and Tuesdays feel like Fridays because they know Wednesday's coming. Just so sweet.
It's so sweet.
So rest in peace to Uncle Bernie, the balloon man.
I know. Oh, Uncle Bernie, we love you.
Love him.
Cutie.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, you're going to tell me what had you spinning in your coffin this week.
All righty.
We'll be right back. And we're back. And you're the background on my phone right now. The picture of the day.
Oh, I love that. Don't show that. That's not flattering.
It's when we were in, where are we? Boston. Oh my God. Wait. Wedding dress.
The back wouldn't go up. It might now.
You're in all my memories.
Well, duh.
You're everything to me. Okay, we don't need to be going down this rabbit hole right now. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry. We're just real people.
It's just going off the rails.
Madison.
Yes, Spencer.
That's like a interviewer.
Yeah. Interview me.
Madison.
Yes.
What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
All right, my girlies. Spencer and I have been talking a lot about the housing market recently. And I think we talked about it actually in an episode of maybe last episode, just how it's a wild time, a wild ride. The market's crazy. But to tie in obituary, the market for plots is probably even crazier. And I know we've touched on renting a grave. We've touched on a lot of this, but it's crazy specifically next to famous people. And I don't mean just like a cemetery that's historic, that happens to have some famous people there, or even like a Hollywood Forever cemetery that is just iconic. And of course, it's expensive. I'm talking about people who spend tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars to be buried next to a famous person.
Interesting.
An article came out like 3 days ago from the New York Post, written by Heather Stein, and it is incredible. I urge you guys to all go read it. And it's since been circulated a ton, but they coined a term called cemetery stalkers, and it's so interesting. So I love it.
Well, and also didn't like Hugh Hefner pay all this money to be above Marilyn?
Yes, I'm going to get into that. I know we've touched on that slightly before. And there are also some cemeteries that are clearly kind of allegedly, though, using celebrity to gouge prices for normal people.
Not a surprise.
Yeah, which I'll get into a little bit later. But I immediately thought of, like, before I even read the articles, I thought about Marilyn Monroe. I know that we've talked about her crypt before, and I know that I've said I went and kissed it. But she is buried in a very unassuming little cemetery in Los Angeles. It's like between buildings. It's small. But a lot of really amazing people are buried there, including Betty Page. She's just like a few feet away from her. But also, yes, creepy Hugh Hefner is buried right beside Marilyn. He said that spending eternity next to Marilyn is too sweet to pass up, and he purchased the crypt in 1992. So he died, I think, in 2017. He is right next to her. And just to paint you like a visual, she's not in the ground. She's like in a wall.
Wall, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a very big wall. And there's like different spots next to her. She's like kind of in the middle, I think. Like, there's things around her. So then there was a man named Richard F. Pincher. And he is interred directly above Marilyn, which I know, we haven't talked about him specifically, but I know we touched on a rumor that there is somebody buried above her. And it's true. So when Marilyn and Joe DiMaggio, I think it was like 1957, when they were getting a divorce, even though he was so incredible with all of her stuff after she died, like I think he handled all the funeral stuff. I know he would send roses to her grave, all that. But when they were getting divorced, he sold off his plot next to her at that cemetery.
Got it.
So that was for sale in I think 1957. And this guy, Richard Pincher.
Pincher, you said
I said
earlier.
Pincher. I think it's Poncher.
Okay.
I think it auto-corrected. It's Poncher. Richard Poncher bought it, and Richard told his wife that, quote, "If I croak, if you don't put me upside down over Marilyn, I'll haunt you the rest of your life."
Oh.
He died in 1986, and I read that she talked about this at his funeral and watched as they turned him over in his casket so that he would be like on his belly. And then
God.
Yeah, and then they interred him right above Marilyn.
Wow.
And his inscription reads, "To the man who gave us everything and more, you're 1 in a million, Freddie." His middle name's, I think, Freddie. Okay, but in 2009, this is 23 years later. He's been buried there for 23 years. His widow, I think, realized how valuable that space is. And good for her. If my husband was like, yeah, bury me above Marilyn, I'd be like, you're a fucking creep. And if I did it anyway, I'd be like, you had 23 years. Okay, you can fucking move. She goes on eBay. And she puts that space on eBay and she starts the bidding. This is 2009 at $500,000. It ended with 20 different offers and the highest being $4.6 million. Okay.
Honey, we're moving.
We're moving. He had also bought, I believe, another plot in that cemetery somewhere. So they were just going to move him over or, put him somewhere else. No big deal. You're still in an iconic cemetery.
I was initially like, that's so fucked up. You don't move the deceased. But then $4.6 million. My God.
$4.6 million. And also, I hate it for Marilyn. I think she was like so objectified. And it's like,
True.
So gross. I think
Yeah.
that Hugh Hefner, especially with all the shit that has come out allegedly, like what a creep. And then
He's dead. We don't have to say allegedly. He was a creep.
yeah, and then a man like imagine if that was your mom, like some creepy guy wants to be buried above her.
Yeah.
On his stomach because he wants to be laying on top of her.
That's gross.
It's gross. So yeah, take the 4.6 million. And she said, like, I'm going to pay off my mortgage. I guess they had a house in Beverly Hills. She's like, I'm going to pay off my mortgage. And
so they were struggling.
Probably 2009, the crash, right? It wasn't 2008,
True.
The crash.
Yeah.
Sadly, I did look for an update to see if he was ever moved, and I guess the bid ended up falling through. And so I think Richard is still there above Marilyn, but I don't know if like his wife is still with us. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But that New York Post article didn't talk about that, but they talked about a new man who bought a crypt next to her as well. I think technically, actually, it's like one above and like four to the left, but still, you know, Maryland adjacent. He is 62-year-old Anthony Jabin, and he is a tech investor and a Marilyn Monroe super fan. He sends her flowers on her birthday every year, and he sounds like a creep to me because it's the Marilyn thing. And I have a picture of him holding an electric guitar right next to her grave that I'll have Austin put in here. I'm like, okay, we know what kind of guy you are.
Yeah.
And I was like looking in 2024, there was an auction for this crypt. He won, and it was $195,000 that he paid for it. And he told the New York Post, quote, I bought the crypt next to Marilyn Monroe because it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to spend eternity with the most iconic actress of all time. And she's definitely my favorite blonde.
Here's the thing also. On one hand, depending on what your beliefs are, it might be like, well, at least you know there's always going to be people there. There's always going to be people around. Won't be lonely.
That is something that when I was reading, like people were saying, like I want to be buried in a place where people want to come. So I completely understand that. I also was too like, oh, I think I would actually, as much as I would want to be buried in Hollywood Forever Cemetery, I think I would want to be buried here too, because like Betty Page is there.
Why don't we buy plots?
I know we should.
We could do it for an episode.
Oh, we should. We totally should. But before I get into any more examples, I want to say that like anything that we talk about on here, like nothing's new. There was a Christian practice known as burial ad sanctos, which basically means burial near the saints. And if you could be buried near a saint or a martyr or a holy person, that was like spiritually beneficial. I guess people believe that like if you're in proximity to holy remains, then that was, you know, incredible. And I guess the most famous example of that is Saint Peter. I guess his tomb, I believe he might have been moved, but basically it was like a major pilgrimage site and like you wanted to be buried there. Because, yeah, so it's nothing new. It's like, okay, they're super fans too. Okay, back to modern times. Next, the New York Post interviewed a man named Jeffrey Dicker. It's spelled Geoffrey.
Geoff Dick.
He purchased a teeny tiny niche inside of the Judy Garland Pavilion at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Judy Garland, her children, and grandchildren all have spaces inside the pavilion. And Jeffrey Dicker told the New York Post, quote, there is almost no iconic figure bigger than Judy Garland. When you think of Hollywood, you think of Judy Garland. When you think of movies, you think of Judy Garland. It goes on to say Dicker's connection to Garland is deeply personal. Before I understood what it meant to be gay, I watched Garland play Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, said Dicker.
He never married.
The Wizard of Oz was always that fantasy land that you could escape to, he said. If you're gonna go big, you can't get any bigger than that. And then it goes on to say, Berman told the Post that many older LGBTQ plus clients specifically seek spaces near Garland as the phrase friend of Dorothy, which we know, became a coded way for members of this community to identify one another during decades when being openly gay could be dangerous. So This one feels really sweet to me
Mm-hmm.
until I read on and realized the niche is clear glass. You've seen them. Like it almost looks like bookshelves or something.
Yeah.
And he's alive and well, and he's already stocked it full of his art. And it's a display called Jeffrey Dicker is Alive. And girl, there's even a QR code. And I'm like, okay, so you're promoting.
You know what? Why not?
Okay, you love it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't love it, but I'm also like, well,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He doesn't want to die destitute like Judy Garland.
Oh my God. Don't bring that up.
Yeah. Well, lest we forget, we talked about it in that episode about celebrities who died broke.
Don't rain on my parade.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
Don't rain on my parade.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
Oh, okay. But I read in a different article that after Rosa Parks died in 2005, the Woodlawn Cemetery in Detroit renamed its granite mausoleum chapel the Rosa L. Parks Freedom Chapel.
Oh, wow.
But they began charging premium prices to be interred there because she was interred there. And according to an Associated Press report from 2006, spaces that had previously gone for about $17,000 were suddenly selling for $24,000 to as much as $65,000.
Oh my God.
I know. And the cemetery was reportedly like negotiating to sell the 7 spaces closest to her crypt for like 60 to 65 grand each. And I think it was specifically Rosa Parks' nephew, but I think all of her relatives objected, saying that her burial was supposed to be private and that the pricing cheapened her legacy.
That I didn't think about. That is fucked up for like people's family members who want to be buried near their deceased loved ones to not be able to or have to pay these exorbitant prices.
Yes.
Because funeral homes are deciding to become, or cemeteries are doing like the Ticketmaster price gouging
fully
thing.
It's fully happening.
Yeah.
It's like the housing market. It's like, oh, you want space? You want this?
They're gonna be like, okay, we also need you to buy cemetery insurance, and you're gonna have to pay that. It's gonna be at 6% for the rest of your
interest
of
yeah.
eternity.
Yes, yeah, fully. Something you don't think about. But I started because we just watched the Michael Jackson movie. I was like, where was he buried? And I know he wanted to be buried at Neverland, but he wasn't. He was buried at the Forest Lawn in Glendale. But when I was like looking up that, I was reading about his dad. And I get Michael Jackson, you either love him or you hate him. You know, it's like kind of a divisive thing. But I think everybody can agree that his dad, Joe Jackson, was an abusive asshole. Like, that's well documented. And Joe Jackson, he begged the Michael Jackson estate to be buried right next to him. They denied it. They didn't allow that. And he is buried in the same cemetery, but he's not buried right next to him.
Got it.
Which I found pretty interesting. And then lastly, going back to that New York Post article, they also talked about Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx. And I guess this cemetery has a jazz corner where people like Miles Davis and Celia Cruz are buried. And this cute older couple named Michael and Marion purchased a plot in the jazz corner because of their love of jazz. And they were like saying, you know, this place, a lot of people come here. Like, I want people to want to come see us.
Yeah. Okay.
They didn't say how much they purchased it for, but the article said that like graves in the jazz corner go for like 70 grand each. So
dang.
pretty penny.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like The Marilyn Monroe one in particular, and the Rosa Parks one, it feels gross. It feels like, okay, what do you
taking
do?
advantage for sure.
Yeah. But then, like, the Judy Garland one, I totally get. The Jazz Corner, I get.
The jazz one I actually got. Well, because you and I have talked about it plenty of times. It's like it would be so cool to be buried in Hollywood forever, or like one of these really notorious cemeteries, because it is just iconic, and it's like an iconic resting place. And we don't know what happens after death. What if like our spirits are walking around the cemeteries we're at?
Yeah, fully. So, yeah.
I want to be buried upside down like a bat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck when we're all at the cemetery, like having a good time. We're all ghosts and you're just like stuck upside down.
No,
How embarrassing to get out. You're like, oh, I need someone to help me. We're all like getting out of our graves. We're getting out of our graves and you're upside down stuck.
Damn.
Good luck.
Well, you'll have been there for a few years by the time I get there, so maybe I'll let you fill me in.
Girl. Don't push it. I'm going to be living till 150.
Oh my God, you made that wish.
Yes.
Well, I love it. I see nothing wrong with wanting to be in an iconic cemetery, but I do see something weird and like, because you know what I could picture? I could picture when Taylor Swift passes away,
Yes.
for instance. I feel like people are going to be like, a cemetery is going to sell out.
Mm-hmm. Fully.
Uh-huh.
Fully. Yes.
Yeah. She gets no privacy, so I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there you go.
Interesting, Madison. Well, thanks for filling us in. We're going to take one more quick break, and then when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
It's my turn.
Yay!
Okay, GFs, put on your thinking caps. A while back, I did a coffin spinner on a little community in upstate New York called Lilydale.
Oh, the psychics?
Yes. If you missed that episode, Lilydale is basically home to one of the largest communities of psychic mediums in the United States. I didn't even know places like that existed, and I became absolutely obsessed with that town. I remember I watched that little documentary on it.
Yeah.
Well, Geoffs and Girly Girl, I recently found out there's another one, and they're connected.
What?
Yes. Okay. So
where?
This one is in... Is it Volusia County, Florida?
I feel like crimes come out of there. Dumb.ass criminals, maybe.
Yeah, we've done a few. It's called Cassadaga. And it's sometimes referred to as the psychic capital of the world. And I've also seen it be called Seance City.
Seance City?
Seance City.
Cute.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I like
Okay,
that.
so I found out about this place, and naturally I needed to do a deep dive. And, you know, this is the kind of like historical rabbit hole we love. It also takes place partially in the Victorian era. I just love it so much.
Wait, Victorian, Florida. Never thought about that.
Yeah, it was there. It happened.
Okay.
It happened. And there's actually, the origins of this feel a little culty. And there was a brief moment in the beginning where I was like, wait a second. Is this cult leader? But then once I found out about the connection to Lilydale, I couldn't rob you off the story, which begins in 1875. And honestly, I shouldn't be surprised because we've talked about this before, but spiritualism, as we know, was exploding in popularity during the late 1800s. And a lot of families at the time had been devastated by the Civil War, and they were seeking comfort. And so mediums were starting to become really popular. Some of them became world renowned, and seances were popping up everywhere. And New York was, during that time period, really the epicenter of the movement. And that is where George P. Colby, who founded this group in Florida, originally came from.
Okay.
So George, he's kind of the cult leader in this story. He created the community in Cassadaga, and he literally named it. Brief bio, George was born in New York in 1848, and according to his own account, everything changed when he was baptized as a child. He claimed that during his baptism in this freezing lake, the veil between this world and the other side became really thin, and it allowed him to start communicating with spirits. Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk next to that story because there's not a ton of documentation of George's childhood, which could be because, you know, they weren't keeping record of things in the mid 1800s as well as they would in later years. But it also could be because he might have been embellishing a little bit. If you recall from our stories on like the Fox sisters and those early days of spiritualism, spiritualism as a movement was born in New York. And George wasn't some isolated kid who didn't hear anything about this. Like, he grew up right where spiritualism was becoming really popular. So my thought process is that maybe he concocted this story about, you know, being a child and the veil thinning and blah, 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 based on like his influence and conditioning from growing up. But I don't know. We don't know. You know, it's kind of like he lived his life as he got older and as he grew up, talking about his childhood experiences. But this was after spiritualism was already popular, was when he was like talking about it. So it's hard to know. What we do know is that George eventually started, as he got older, traveling all over the country, and he was holding seances and doing public demonstrations, and people loved it. People, as we know, during that time period, this was like a big source of entertainment for people. And I can think of so many episodes where we've touched on this. Remember that one woman who would like get into a cabinet?
I always think about her.
Yeah, me too. Well, George had the ability to talk to spirits on the other side, so he claimed. And one of these spirits was a spirit guide that he said was a Native American named Seneca.
Okay.
According to George, it was this spirit guide, Seneca, who told him, you must go down to Florida and you must start a spiritual community there.
Okay.
Which again is kind of like very much a cult leader vibe. Like, you're having this prophetic vision. You need to like go start essentially a cult compound somewhere.
Yes.
Now, if you'll recall, Lilydale's in New York. Lilydale sits next to Cassadaga, New York.
Oh, okay.
And so when George eventually did come to Florida and buy up some land, he called it Cassadaga after Cassadaga, New York.
Got it. Okay.
Which is right next to Lilydale. So there's like a full-on connection there. It wasn't until 1894 that George officially purchased about 35 acres of land that would become the Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp. But by that point, he'd already been there for almost 2 decades. From their official website, Cassadaga.org, Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp Meeting Association, the oldest continuously active religious community in the southeastern United States. The prophecy, George Colby, a young spiritualist from New York, was told during a seance that he would someday be instrumental in founding a spiritualist community in the South. That prophecy was fulfilled in 1875 when Colby was led through the wilderness of Central Florida by his spirit guide, Seneca, to an area surrounded by uncommon hills. The camp was formed. Colby homesteaded land here but continued to travel and work as a medium. He later learned that his associates in Lilydale, New York were interested in founding a winter spiritualist camp in Florida. As a result, the Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp Meeting Association was formed in 1894. And in 1895, Colby deeded over 35 acres to our founders. In 1991, the camp was designated as a historic district and placed on the National Register of Historic Places. Today, Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp now consists of approximately 57 acres with 55 homes.
Wow.
Those who reside here have chosen to live in a community of spiritual people where they can worship and work in harmony with their beliefs. Many of the camp's residents are mediums and healers who offer their services from their homes or apartments. We, as spiritualists, welcome you no matter what your religion of origin is or where you are on your spiritual path, a believer, a skeptic, or simply curious.
Wow.
And so that reminds me a lot of Lilydale too, where it's now in recent years, well, not just recent years, but in modern times, it has become a place where, like in Lilydale, there are just all of these psychic mediums living here, and tourists come in and can call a number that's posted on one of the bulletins there or get a reading with someone.
I love that.
Me too. And when he went south, as I mentioned, he was already tied into that Lilydale group. And so he had already kind of built a following of people who were impressed with his seances and the way that his mediumship went or ran. And so a group of people from Lilydale came down with him to Florida for this. So
Got
he didn't
it.
go alone.
Okay.
But I also thought it was interesting that Lilydale was already set on kind of setting up a winter camp down there. And in his head, I'm like, what's the timeline on this? Because he supposedly had this prophetic vision from his spirit guide, Seneca, during a seance, telling him to move down to Florida or move down south and start this. So maybe it was two worlds colliding, or maybe he heard about this opportunity and he's like, well, shit, I want to be the one to lead it down there.
Yes, I'm going to go with the latter.
We don't know. We don't know. There was another big boom in the 1920s. There was a huge boom in spiritualism, and that's when I think a lot of people started making their way down there and maybe calling it home permanently. But going back for a second, there was an article that came out in a 1957 edition of the Daytona Beach Morning Journal that talked more about the inception of the group. Quote, in 1875, taking the traditional route that all tourists traveled in those days, Colby, George, went by steamboat up the St. Johns River to Blue Springs near Orange City. He began walking through the wilderness until he came to the site which is now Cassadaga. Spiritualists say that Colby's spirit advisors selected the land for him. The countryside was magnificent. Tall pines, gentle hills, and a series of lakes and springs must have seemed heaven-sent. Indeed, to this man who was weak and ill. He erected a crude log cabin and filed a government homestead for 35 acres. The invigorating air and outdoor activity soon made Colby a well man, and he spent the next few years getting citizens of Orange City, Enterprise, DeLand, and other nearby communities interested in forming an assembly. Colby's first 3-day camp meeting was attended by 100 people and was the beginning of the Cassadaga Assembly. In 1895, Colby deeded his 35 acres to the group. Trustees signing the agreement with Colby were Frank Bond, George Lawton, George Webster, W.S. Cadds, Emma Huff, Abby Pentingill, and Marietta Kuzdadin. Many prominent settlers in this area were Colby's friends. He is still spoken of as a kind and generous man. A bachelor all his life, he often took in homeless children, seeing to their needs while he ran a dairy on his farm, sold bread, which he baked himself, while still finding time to carry on his mission of spiritualism. He is remembered as an outstanding medium. His spirit guides, Seneca and the philosopher, were his life companions. Colby was famous in Florida for his ability to find buried treasure.
Buried treasure?
And for his assistance to the police in detecting criminals. Before his death in 1933, he spent his last days in Harmony Hall in the center of his beloved spiritualist camp.
Oh.
So spoiler alert, he did pass away.
Okay, well, I figured.
Yeah. Today, Cassadaga is still surprisingly small. Only around 100 people live there. And then roughly half of the people who live there are practicing mediums or psychics.
That's so cool.
I know.
Still, even though I guess it's considered small, like I can't think of any other place like that other than Lilydale.
Totally. And the community is all centered around Cassadaga's spiritualist camp, which is still active today. They continue holding church services. And I actually, on their website, I saw a schedule of events. And like on Sundays, they have spiritual healing in the healing gazebo. And then on Wednesday nights, they do a healing meditation and message service. And then Thursdays, they do a Thursday morning healing service. And then from 12:30 to 1:15, they do spiritual healing in the healing gazebo. And they have a ton of monthly events also, like one-off events per month.
Sounds fun.
I know.
Like a retirement community or something.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, okay, what kind of trust fund do I need to obtain to be able to just go live somewhere like this and just focus on healing and feeling good and calm and spiritualism? You know what I mean?
Well, I wonder, like, it's not probably like regulated like a retirement home community, right?
No, I think like I think people get to go about their daily lives, but they just live in this spiritualist community, which I do think is really cool. And they also like some people they have like regular church services and
like it's a normal town.
Yeah, it's like a normal town, but it feels like it needs, I just would see, I don't want this, but I do. I want it for my curiosity, but I don't want it because it'll ruin the town. But I would love a reality show where they're just filming the day-to-day activities. Like, I think that would be so cool. Or maybe they could just do like one documentary about them.
Like they did with Lilydale.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. George Colby, as I mentioned, remained in Cassadaga until his death, and he died on July 27th.
My birthday.
Your birthday in 1933. 3-3.
3-3.
And after he died, the hotel that was there, the Cassadaga Hotel, was sold outside of the spiritualist group. And I want to talk about that in a second. But first, just really quick, George's obituary. It says, George P. Colby DeLand, July 27th. Funeral services will be held tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock at the Cassadaga Auditorium for George P. Colby, 85, who died at his home in that city this morning. Burial will take place at Lake Helen. Mr. Colby was born in New York. Short and sweet. I was surprised it didn't really mention all of his accolades.
Yeah.
I should say.
Okay.
So the hotel itself, though, and I don't know if this is just because it's such like a tourist community now, but it has a reputation like now the hotel, you know, the hotel's haunted.
Of
and
course.
Guests see shadow figures and hear voices and footsteps and all kinds of paranormal activity.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, it's like, I'm sure it's like a mecca of energy.
Well, yeah,
there.
I feel like probably if I'm sure you're having to communicate with something, it might invite some stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think so. Well, and it was also like, yeah, are they like bringing more energy there because they're like hoping to connect with people? Like, we don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. Whether you believe in psychic mediums or not, I feel like it's just such a cool thing to me that there are these little places that remain almost untouched.
Yeah, totally. Really cool.
And then before I forget, because this was actually interesting and now I want to go listen to this album. You know the band Bright Eyes?
Yeah.
In 2007, they released an album called Cassadaga, and it's named after this spiritual community.
Really?
Because Connor Oberst, the singer for the band, he had visited Cassadaga when he was writing the record and was inspired by it.
Wow. Okay, wait, I gotta Google that. Oh, yeah. That's so cool.
Isn't that cool?
Oh my God, love.
I know. I'm like, next time I'm driving or something, I wanna go listen to that album because it's interesting because I guess that it really is rooted, like it was so inspired by this place.
What was that? What was his like most popular song? The like,
I wish I had my guitar in
right
here.
in the doorway.
This is the first day of my life.
Yeah.
Now I don't care, I could go anywhere with you, and I'd probably be happy. That was one of the first songs I learned how to play.
What is that
guitar.
song called?
First Day of My Life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that had everybody in a headlock.
It had me in a grip, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on MySpace for sure.
That was my song on on my page with my marquee.
Yeah.
Coding.
Maddie Moore.
Yep.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, let's move on to some obituaries, shall we?
Oh my gosh, let's do it. This obituary is actually brought to you by a Geoff that wrote in and sent me like the links to it, but then said, lastly, I want to thank you for the joy and laughs all your shows bring me. I was laughing on my way to work this morning, listening to the latest episode of Obituary, and I'm always excited for the latest episodes. Listening truly feels like hanging out with friends. I'm really, really hoping you'll go on tour again soon. And really, really, really hoping that tour will stop in Wisconsin. Preferably Madison, our state's capital.
Have we done Wisconsin?
No.
Let's go to Wisconsin.
Let's go to Wisconsin.
Remember we tried to do a Midwest tour?
I know. And then
those people told us no.
Oh, yeah.
Not Wisconsin people.
No. Well, that's from Claire. And then she did write another little paragraph for us just to read. So
okay.
I know.
I'll have you read it to me when we hit stop.
Perfect. So she sent me this obituary, and there's a lot of lore around this obituary. So first I'm going to read the obituary. This is for Ray Peterson. It says, Ray Peterson, a World War II Navy veteran, the Navy meant a lot to him, and graduate of the University of Wisconsin, ambitiously driven business owner who is still working running his rental business, 96-year-old father of 5 children, 6 grandchildren, 8 great-grandchildren, faithful husband of Joy Curtis Peterson for 64 years, born December 16th, 1924 to Alice and Russell Peterson, died December 15th, 2021, a day before his birthday from cardiac arrest. 4 months after Pfizer mRNA vaccine acquired at routine appointment, where doctor said she would even give it to a 2-year-old. He had been hospitalized for injury and suspected heart attack after being found on his floor at home December 6, 2021. I'm going to go on and read the rest of this obituary, but the Geoff sent it and the subject was like crazy run-on obituary, and fully it is. No commas, no periods, no nothing. Ray was preceded by his wife, Joy, in death and is survived by their children. It goes on and on. With that, Ray's grandma, Ida Peterson, guided him to purchase his first house at age 17 before he went to war, serving in the United States Navy and subsequently graduated from University of Wisconsin, that he and Joy married a month after. They had met at young adult dances, and Ray taught ballroom at Arthur Murray Dance Studio.
Oh, we know that.
I know. He and his dad built a ski jump in Michigan. Joy was once supposed to see Ray in a ski jump competition, but he hurt his arm or shoulder in the practice run, so he didn't compete. When Joy went to visit him in the hospital, she said she fell in love with his strong arms. He taught himself to play guitar and enjoyed playing it and singing Johnny Cash songs. Especially, he also loved diving off diving boards. Ray's professional failing, Madison Marginal Rental Housing Service, directed toward the Madison homelessness, with Joy's stressful office management of her husband's business that when she retired, their daughter, Danette, assumed, and with him gone, she was left to manage. The acceptance of Ray's body was refused by the University of Wisconsin-Madison Medical School Anatomy Department, being his and Joy's final wishes, giving to those they believed to be most in need. Due to him dying with COVID, he tested positive for upon hospital admittance, without symptoms being their reason for not treating it, except to place in COVID ward, not allowing any visitors, and only began adding COVID treatment after being hospitalized for a week. Though they started as early as day after hospitalized, he is confused and he doesn't know where he is. That's common with COVID. His breathing began requiring oxygen, initiated December 12th, followed by finally treating the COVID December 13th with steroids. Besides remdesivir, that wasn't successful, but instead detrimental. Nor was our request pleading with them to try monoclonal antibodies or ivermectin under Right to Try Act, as the COVID exacerbated after not starting treatment when diagnosed. When he was desperately ill December 14th, he was still able to respond. He wants any measures taken to keep him alive. Sadly, as he would have said, his treatment was discombobulated. His hospitalist doctor said of COVID vaccinated patients he treats who've had resulting heart problems. Average occurrence of hospitalization is 4 to 5 months after COVID vaccine. Thankfully, the compassionate UW body donor coordinator picked up Ray's ashes, looked up the private area of campus of land restoration where Joy's ashes were placed. He remembered handling and placed Ray's with hers. And that's the obituary. But then there's a whole Facebook thread. I guess Dane County Crime, the Facebook, said, "Today I rabbit holed into a fever dream." That is Ray Peterson's obituary from 2021. And the comments are crazy. A guy named Tom wrote, "Written by Ray Peterson's second oldest daughter, my ex-wife. I don't dare provide so many more details because some of his children would come at me. Joy Peterson, his wife, was a great person, by the way." Then somebody else was saying that he was known all around Wisconsin as slumlord. I guess he was like terrible. Oh, someone also wrote, "I had friends who rented from him and all horror stories. I remember when he was finally held accountable 10 years ago and a judge ordered him to bring all 40-ish properties up to code within 30 days. So many people were happy to see some justice, but nope, he didn't comply and instead listed them for sale." So there you have it. Insane run-on obituary. Yeah. I'm out of breath.
Worst obituary I've ever heard.
Oh.
This show.
Sorry, guys.
Well, no, it's just so erratic.
Bad. So erratic.
Like someone manically just writing down what happened, and then here's the obituary.
Right.
Like, because you hear some, and they're like calling out the medical system, blah blah blah, and it's like hell yeah. But then like you hear someone, it's just like,
dude, he was 96. Come on. I mean, I don't mean that like to be cold, but like there's only, Yeah.
Yeah. Fully.
Well, who do you got?
I have a guy. There's this guy. Scorned a baronetcy. He was a recluse. The headline says, scorned a baronetcy. This is from the Express, July 14th, 1914, and it says, recluse who lived and died as Mr. Peel. Though he was entitled to a baronetcy, which is like, could have become a baron, was like from a noble family, a man of reserved and eccentric habits who has just died at Ponder End, Rogerland, preferred to be known as Mr. Samuel Peel. Mr. Peel, who was 74 years of age, went to live at a Derwent House, Scotland Green, Ponder's End, about 20 years ago. From the first, he lived the life of a recluse, declining to associate with other people, and always refusing to see callers. It was only after his death that it was found out he was an unknown benefactor who was in the habit of sending large anonymous gifts to local charities. Mr. Peel succeeded to the title about 3 years ago. His brother, Sir Tacophilas Peel, a member of the well-known Yorkshire family and one of the Jubilee baronets, died childless. The funeral took place at Enfield Highway Churchyard, the mourners being the Reverend Canon Leach, brother-in-law, Miss Leach, and Miss Emily Peel. Another brother, Mr. Edwin Peel, lives at Bradford. But he was like a baron who was just living in total recluse and sending anonymous gifts and didn't want to fucking see a soul, and I get it.
I get it. That's sweet. Totally get it.
Love him. And love these next people already. I don't even know yours yet, but we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
Means it's time for some dumb
ass
criminals. Who you got?
Okay, I have another one sent in. I didn't do a listener email this week, so I feel like gotta get those G-offs in there. This says, hey y'all, feel free to share all names and cities. Let's give this little Texas town something to gossip about. So this happened in my town of Sherman, Texas last night, and you really can't make this up. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. And it's a screenshot from the Sherman Police Department. And it says, sometimes police work is hard. Sometimes people schedule their own traffic stop. Earlier this week, one of our officers was parked and monitoring an area around town when a vehicle pulled up beside him. The driver said he wanted to be pulled over because he believed it was going to happen anyway. The officer obliged. Unfortunately, the driver's concerns were well-founded. It turns out the vehicle came with an outstanding warrant and narcotics. The bizarre encounter concluded at the Grayson County Jail for everyone involved. And that was sent by Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer. I love it.
Jennifer. Just love when someone thinks they're being smart and just pulled over. Why would you ask to be pulled over with narcotics?
It's like when people try and call the police and they're like, someone stole the meth I was trying to steal.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Okay, well, I have one that's so good. It's from Fox 35 Orlando. Leesburg, Florida, quote, an elderly Florida man was arrested for allegedly street racing in Lake County.
Street racing?
When confronted with the accusation, William Bosworth, 85, responded, he was just having a little ride in my favorite car. And now Bosworth faces 2 charges for driving in a vehicle race and dangerous excessive speeding. He was fucking like streetcar racing, girl.
Good for him.
A deputy spotted 2 vehicles appearing to be street racing on U.S. Highway 27 and County Road 33 in Leesburg around 11:40 p.m. on June 12th. A radar showed a red Corvette traveling at 125 miles an hour and a gray sports car traveling 110 miles per hour, both in a 45 mile per hour zone. After activating his emergency lights, the deputy pulled over Bosworth, the driver of the gray sports car, an arrest affidavit said. The interaction between the deputy and the elderly driver was captured on body cam. When the deputy addressed Bosworth's alleged street racing, Bosworth responded, no, that guy, he swerved at me. He continued to explain he was driving 110 miles per hour only because he swerved at me. I wanted to get away before we caused a problem. And then he denied he was street racing and said, I was just out having a little ride in my favorite car. And he is smiling in his mugshot, and I love it because his family
His family
just
probably
like-
loves it too.
They're like, Bill, look at him there.
He's a badass.
I love him.
I love him.
Oh my God. And I love this show. I really do. I was literally sitting in my office yesterday just with all these obituaries on the floor around me. I posted a picture of it and I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
Oh, I know.
I do.
We really have the dream.
The dream. Living the dream. And we hope you guys are living the dream too. And we'll be back to live our dream even more next week with some more coffin spinners.
And obituaries.
And dumb
Ass.
criminals.
Criminals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.